Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you all are doing amazing and that you're staying safe and staying sane at the same time. I am super excited to be able to do this video. It's December 30th 2021, exactly a few hours before we jump to the new year 2022, and I just thought I should do a recap of 2021, the lessons that I've learned, some of the things that I think I should share with you guys that really changed my life in one way or the other. And you know, it's always good to just share lessons that you've learned, because there's someone who will watch this video and their life will never be the same again. So in this video, I'm going to be speaking about lessons I've learned in 2021 and pretty much a recap of how the year was. So I really hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video, so please stay tuned for more of this. I am very aware that this year has not been an easy one for most people. I think generally life is not easy. It's always ups and downs, the moments whereby you're on the mountain, the moments where you're in the valley, and you know, like the valley of the shadow of death, and you feel like things are not working out. You've tried all options, people have helped you out, and you know, there are moments where you just reach a point in your life where you feel like you've hit rock bottom, and literally the only way to go, as in, you know, have things ever happened in your life where you even start questioning, like, I hear people making a joke that ati mwenye aliniroga ni kama alikufa. I know we make such jokes as you just say it carelessly, but sometimes I think one thing I've learned is words have so much power. So every time you're uttering any word, just ask yourself, is it going to build or destroy? Is it going to bring life, or is it going to speak death upon anyone? So I know the year has been a hard one for most people, and I know I'm seeing even on social media, people are at a point where they're just wishing, can this year be over? Like now. Like I'm done with 2021, I'm ready to jump into 2022 because of how hard the year has been. But in the midst of all the madness, in the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of all the stress, the fact that you're watching this video right now is all the reason why you should be grateful. It's all the reason why you should thank God for bringing you this far. I mean, there's so many people who we started the year with and have not managed to see the end of it. So the fact that you're watching my video at this particular moment, in fact, if you've not even given thanks for life itself, or for being able to be of sane mind, have good health, I just want you to stop for a minute and just give thanks to God. Just thank Him for bringing you through 2021, for holding your hand, for carrying you when you didn't even have the energy to walk yourself. And just take this moment to just stay in silence and just thank God for all that. Because even as I'm sharing my lessons and things that I've learned, the thing that stood out the most is gratitude. Like, in the midst of that storm, God carried me through. Because there are moments whereby there's so many battles, or rather things that God fights for us that we have no idea about. Like, so many times you walk out of the house, so many things are working behind the scenes against you, but you really don't even get to see that, because God watches over you, God covers you, He sends angels over you, and you don't even know how they do it. But you get back home, you're safe and sound, and that's all the reason why you should give thanks to God for that. Number one song that has really held me down in this year is called Hills and Valleys by Torren Wells. Oh my goodness, like that's like my favorite song of all time. I think even when I'm 70, I think I'll still be singing that song. And it says, on the mountain, I will bow my life to the one who set me there. In the valley, I will lift my eyes to the one who sees me there. Basically, it says He's the God of the hills and the valleys. And life, as I said, has hills and valleys. So many hills, so many valleys, you know, when you feel like you have nowhere to go, and things are simply just not working out. But He's still the God of the hills, He's still the God of the valley. So even when you're deep down in the valley, you should look up to Him, because He is the only one who can get you out of that. So that's the first thing I have learned. Like, so many times we are used to having God as our ATM machine, you know, like, God, I need this. God, I need that. God, I need you to do this for me. And if you don't, I feel some type of way. You feel like you know, He's let go of you and He's not listening to you, which is normal for all of us. Like, I also go through that all the time. But one thing that 2021 has taught me, or rather one thing that I've been very intentional about in this year, is learning that God is the God of the hills and the valleys. And I should not take Him as my ATM machine. I should know that He's His will at the end of the day is supreme. No matter how, actually today morning I was just thinking about how in our hearts and in our minds we usually make so many plans, and sometimes it's like God laughs at them because they're like, dear child, you don't know what's about to happen to you, and the goodness of trusting in God and the goodness of just letting go and letting God is you are guaranteed that his plans are for good. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. So in as much as sometimes we find it so hard to trust him, in as much as sometimes it's really so hard to just let go and let God, one thing that has really carried me through 2021 is to always remind myself that, probably I'm feeling like he's silent at this moment. Probably I'm feeling like he's not there. You have prayed and things are just not working out. But I always remind myself that at the end of the day, his plans are even better than mine. Sometimes I think that mine are the best. I know what I want. I know the things I want to do. I know where I want to work. I know the things I want to buy and all. But at the end of the day, his plans are better than mine. So I am, even as I'm going into 2022, one thing that I am really trying to nurture in my life is to have faith as little as a mustard seed and faith like a child's. Even like when Jesus was saying how only people who are like children are the ones who will inherit the kingdom of God, because children have so much faith. They believe what you tell them. And as Christians, so many times we struggle with that because, we want to do things our way. So when things are not working out our way, we feel like he's not listening. But I'm just here to remind you, as we get into 2022 and as we cross over to a new year, let's always remember that at the end of the day, his plans are better than ours. We will feel like we know what's up. We'll feel like we know the gist of how things should work out. But let's always remember that at Romans 8:28 says that for all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and for those who've been called according to his purpose. So despite the struggles we go through, despite the challenges we have, he has the best plan for us. So that was the first thing, and I think I needed to take a lot of time with that because it's been so profound in my life. And in every decision I've made this year, the mistakes I've made, because as every other human being, I've made many, many, many mistakes. But even in those mistakes, I usually remind myself that this did not catch God by surprise. He knew I would do this, and he knew I'd have a solution, or rather he'd have a solution for me to get out of it. So even in those mistakes, remind yourself that, you know what, I have done this and I hate myself for doing this, but all things work together for good because I love the Lord and I've been called according to his purpose. So yeah, that's the first thing I've learned, and I am so encouraged even as I speak about that, because I know that there's so many people, especially in this December, I've seen so many people who've lost loved ones. I've seen people I studied with in high school who've lost their parents, and it's so hard. I think death is that one thing that no one can ever explain. Even men of God, even people who, are pastors, men of God really can never explain the hurt that comes with death. And I know how that feels, but I'm just here to tell you that God loves you. Even here, he is faithful. He loves you and he will never let you go. He will always hold on to you. He will be the father to the fatherless and he will be the husband to the widows. So keep holding on to him, because for me, the thing that really gives me so much stability. Sometimes I even go to him and I'm crying and I'm like, you know what, you've not heard me. I have prayed, I have done this, and I'm feeling so heartbroken because you did not answer my prayer. But he just hugs me, gives me a hug and tells me, you know what, my child, dear child, I am with you even here. So yeah, dear child, whoever is watching this, I'm just here to remind you that even as you're crossing over to 2022, hold on to that faith. Even if it's one verse in the Bible, it doesn't matter. The beauty about God is that he loves us anyway. No matter whether you're a thief, whoever you are, whatever you've struggled with, whatever sin you struggled with, he loves you so much that he sent his one and only son to die on the cross for you. I think you should think about that. Even as sometimes we are going through those phases and we are there angry, talking back at him, always remember that he loved you with an undying love, that he sent his one and only son to die on the cross for you and I while we were still sinners. It's not like we were perfect, but while we were still sinners, that's when Christ died on the cross for you and I. So that's lesson 1. And it's so encouraging. So the other thing that has really stood out for me in this year is I've learned that, in life, nothing comes easy. And you see, when you find anything coming easy, have questions, especially in this day and age where we joke around about so many things, the wash generation, the this, the that, and so many times social media will make us feel as if life, living life on the fast lane, and you get confused, and you can easily fall into that trap because it's good. I mean, who doesn't want to drive the big cars? Who doesn't want to live in this lavish houses? Who doesn't want to live their best life? But I'm just here to tell you that you have to put in the work. And that's one thing I've learned. There is nothing that comes easy, and if anything comes easy to you, please think twice. So even in my t-shirt, as it says, stay hungry, stay foolish, level up. I used to see this a lot, I think, on Julie Gishuru's page, or one of the people she's really close to, and I would wonder, what does that actually mean? And I did a lot of, I just went on Google, doctored Google, and I searched, and it's pretty much like you have, the power is in your hands. Like, you go out there and do something. No matter what your situation is, we all have so much in here, so much capability, so much potential. It's just that most of us in our lifetime don't maximize on it. So stay hungry, stay foolish. Like, go out there, try your best. I would rather you just come and say, what, I've tried 5 businesses and they're not working out. What do I do? But never sit in your situation, never wallow in your misery and feel like everything bad happens to me. I've tried this and this, it's not working. Make sure you go out there and do something about your situation. Never sit down. And even in my book, Let's Make Lemonade, that's what I talk about, because life will throw so many lemons at you. Every single day you're throwing lemons at, like, you will find situations that you have no solutions for, but you have to keep it moving. That's the thing about life. You can't sit down there and say, yeah, Mimi, I'm just crude. No, you have to keep it moving. And when life gives you lemons, use those to make lemonade. So I'm just here to encourage you. Have you lost your job in 2021? Was your business hard? Were you feeling like you are doing everything? And in fact, there's an amazing uncle of mine who reminded me that even in the Bible, we're told that man will toil, sweat for them to have food on their table. That's the same thing. That's why I'm saying, if you find something that's going too easy for you, please think twice. Because ideally, the way nature works is we work hard for us to get whatever it is we want to get out of life. So go out there, keep grinding, keep trusting in God, because at the end of the day, you need to have something, you need to have something for him to bless. Like, do something, whatever it is. If it's your talent, if it's start a YouTube channel, start doing makeup, like, just start doing something. Go out there, keep it moving. At the end of the day, no matter how hard it gets, even if you're going to crawl, and that's one thing I always tell myself, even if I'll crawl like a baby on the floor, even if I will have to, go leaps and bounds slowly but slowly, at the end of the day, as long as I'm moving, I am on the right track. Because sitting in that problem, having the victim mentality, that's where the issues come. So no matter what you're going through, keep it moving, head high, do not give up. Always remember that when life gives you lemons, use those to make lemonade, always. The other thing I've really learned in this year is the power of speaking up. I think that for me has really stood out. I think for so long we usually, especially as women, I don't know if it's in the society we've grown up in, where so many times women are put down. Like, you get into a boardroom and you find like it's full of men, and probably there's like 2 women in a room of 15 men. I'm so happy that now that's really changing, and there's a lot of gender equality that's been preached, and advocacy that's been happening. So that's really been changing. But one thing I learned, and I remember one of the people that I had the privilege of working with this year, one thing she would say: if you get into a meeting and you don't say something, you've wasted your time. Especially in this era where we have a lot of Zoom meetings, we have a lot of digital online meetings. If you get into a Zoom call and you spend 1 hour there and you did not say anything, imagine you would have rather been doing something else out there. Same goes. So she would tell us, if you get into a meeting and you've been called for a meeting, maybe it's a brainstorming session, make sure you say something, because it's in saying that something that people will remember you. And the goal is to be remembered. At least when you walk into a room, let people feel your presence, because at the end of the day, people quickly forget. So if you're just walking and sit down the whole time, you're just going there to listen to what people have to say and all that, and you never participate in any way, people will forget you. And it's in that speaking up that you can find your opportunity. Probably you'll say something and there's someone in that room who has the potential to change your life. So that's one thing I really for so long I would struggle with the imposter syndrome, and I'd be like, Kai, what if I say that and then they think it's funny? What if I say that and then I make a mistake? What if? But one thing I'm learning, and one thing I also want to be very intentional about in 2022, is to speak up, believe in myself even more, have more confidence, and to know that I have something. The fact that they've called me into this room, the fact that they've called me into this meeting means that I have something of value, or rather I have something that I can say that can make this situation different in a good way. So speak up, don't be afraid, don't stop second guessing yourself, because the thing about life is most of us actually most of human beings are usually struggling with this, but it's just telling yourself that, you know what, I have something of value, I have something that can make a difference, and I'm going to be confident in myself, and I'm just going to speak. So remember, you never know where your miracle will come from. So just speak up, say something, believe in yourself, believe that you have something to offer. The other thing is, as I always say, family is not a thing, family is everything. So even as we are so busy searching for, the coins, as we're so busy trying to make our lives better, let's never forget the people who mean the world to us. And let's keep holding them close, let's keep showing up for them, let's keep, because at the end of the day, no matter what you go through, your family are the ones who will always stand by you. So never forget them, even on your quest to become a rich person, to get wealth, to do all the things that you really want to do out of life. Always remember to love on your people. Always remember to let them know how much you love them. Never be shy to say it, because one thing I hate is when people give roses to people when they're dead, and when they're alive they didn't even know how much they meant to you. So give your people roses while they can still smell them, while they can still be happy and smile about them, and just love on your people as much as you can. Another thing I've also learned in 2021 is sometimes you can love people from a distance, and that's okay. That's very okay. I think for me, I've always been the kind of person who I really quite never give up on people, even when I can see that this person is no longer my friend or all that. I always have this thing in my heart where I feel like I like to see the best out of everyone. But one thing I've learned in 2021, that it's okay to love someone from a distance if you feel like you've tried all you can, especially with friends. And this is particularly speaking about friendships. Sometimes it's better to let go than to keep holding on. So do an audit of your friends. Even as you're getting into 2022, you don't need baggage in your life. You need people who are making your life better. You need people who you can grow with, people you can make who are making an impact in your life, and also people who you're making an impact in their life, because life and friendship is it's mutually beneficial. So if you're not doing anything for me and I'm not doing anything for you, why are we wasting our time? So that's one thing I learned. Sometimes letting go is better than holding on, and it's very important to do a lifestyle audit of your friends. We talk about lifestyle audit of wealth and all that, and we forget about doing lifestyle audits of your friends. So do a lifestyle audit of your friends and see, am I on the right track, or do I need to let go of some? Do I need to make new friends? Just be very intentional about the kind of energy that you surround yourself with, because as we are always told, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. So yeah, that's the other thing I've learned. And when it comes to finances, because it's very important to speak about that. So when it comes to finances, one thing I have really, really learned about finances is that, first of all, pesa ni maua. Don't build your whole life around money, and where you can't, even the money you work so hard to make, you can't even enjoy it because you're scared of losing it. And this comes from a scarcity mentality. Sometimes it's not even your fault. Probably you've grown up in an environment whereby there was never enough. So even when you make that money, you're always holding on to it because you have so much fear that, oh my God, I don't want to get back to the place that I was before. But that's the first thing. Pesa ni maua. It comes and goes very, very fast. But even while you have that money, learn to invest and learn to save. That's been my highlight of 2021. I'm really grateful to God that I've gotten the chance to do that, like investing in different ways. If it's a money market fund you want to join, if you're going to do bonds, if you're going to get into cryptocurrency, as long as you're ensuring that your money is working for you, just take that bold step. It takes a lot. It's not easy. I mean, for people especially who are risk averse, it's not an easy step to take. But trust that, as long as my money is working for me, then you are 10 steps ahead of most people who don't even have the courage to do that. So have your money working for you, whether it's in the money market fund. Have you bought shares in a company? Have you invested in bonds? Is it cryptocurrency? Check online. There's so much information. There's an ocean of information about finances and investing. So make sure you're educating yourself every so often, so that you're not left by this bus. Also, save up and when you're saving up, have a goal. Like, are you saving up for a trip? Are you saving up to get your own house? Are you saving up for a car? Whatever it is, because when you don't have a goal, it's very easy for you to use that money. So save up and keep pressing on. Keep making sure you're making steps. The other thing is progress over perfection. Like, so many of us are so crippled and we are not able to do so many things in life because you're so scared of, oh my God, it's not my skills are not yet good, I cannot go speak in front of people or this and that. But make sure you're doing progress over perfection. Every single day you're making a step towards the right direction. Every single day. Because at the end of the day, all those steps will culminate and you'll become a so much better person than you were before. And when it comes to fitness and health, the other thing I've learned is also progress over perfection. I think for me, the reason why I kept, I've always been starting a routine and then I stop because I feel like it's not bringing the results I want, and I get discouraged very fast. But as the year was ending, as 2021 was ended, I decided that I would rather make one step in the right direction than stick in that same spot and complain about my situation. If it's an eating disorder you have, make one step. Stop. It's not. Don't look at the end so much that you forget to enjoy the process. So for me, even in fitness, I've decided that it's one step at a time. If I'm going to start walking, if I'm going to start quitting, if I'm taking 2 teaspoons of sugar in my tea, I reduce it to 1 or 1.5. You're making progress at the end of the day. So be mindful of your progress and be mindful of taking one step at a time. And also, in line with the fitness thing, I've really learned about mindful eating. So many times, when you're young, you just eat anything and everything because you're like, I am young, my metabolism is on fire, and I can afford to do that. But I am really trying to train myself to have mindful eating. Like, when I'm eating something, I know, like, this will help my body in this way and in that way, not just eating carelessly because you say you're young. Yeah, so at a note, laugh through things. Like, when you're hurt, try and find something that will make you happy or make you smile. Surround yourself with people who, bring so much joy to your heart and to your life. A smile a day keeps the doctor away, like, legit. So many illnesses out here are caused by stress. So learn what your triggers are, learn how you can manage stress, learn how you're able to, cope with situations. And I think for me that has really helped me in this year, because for so long I used to panic. I used to have a lot of anxiety, and when things are not going the way I had planned them or the way I had envisioned them, you struggle with anxiety, and sometimes it can be very crippling. But I am learning to find ways of coping, things that will help you cope with tough situations, because as we said when we were starting out, life is not easy. There's so many hills, there's so many valleys, but you have to, you unajikaza kabisa, and you keep it moving, and you just do your best to ensure that you maintain your sanity and to ensure that you find a solution. Be solution oriented, not just don't react to things, learn to respond to things. So that goes my 2021 recap. I feel like I was talking to you. I feel like there was someone right next to me and I was telling this person these stories, or rather these lessons. And I think that's how it should be. Even on my channel, I want it to be very candid. I want it to be very open, whereby we get to speak about real life situations, like the reality on the ground. Because so many times we're used to plasticity, so many times we're used to people putting up a show. But I really want to be very authentic, be myself, even on my channel, even as we're getting into 2022, engage with you about different things that are happening in our world, different things that are happening in my life, and the lessons I've learned that can help you, become a better person. So because at the end of the day, why else would you be coming to my channel unless you either want entertainment, either you want to empower yourself and just become a better person. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey in 2021. It's been beautiful. We have grown as the Sharon Ngugi family. We're now at 1.5 thousand followers on YouTube, and I believe we are going to take this to the next step even in the new year, and we'll just keep sharing and helping each other become better people in any capacity that we can. So if you have any lessons that you'd want to add that you've learned in this year, please write them down in the comment section. Engage with me. Tell me what is that thing that stood out for you, probably in my channel, in someone else's channel. You can put links to channels that really stood out for you, so that I can also get to learn more from people, and also for the people who are going to watch this video to just get to learn more and to become better people. So thank you so much. In case you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button down below here. If it's red, it means you've not yet subscribed, so please hit it so that it can turn gray. It's absolutely free to subscribe, but it means the world to me as a creator and as a YouTuber. So please subscribe, share it with your family, share it with your friends, and let's keep growing the Sharon Ngugi channel and just living, loving, and laughing. So thank you so much. And even as we're getting into the new year, I just want to wish you a prosperous, a happy, a beautiful, a blessed, a year full of health, a year full of joy, laughter, happiness, and all the good things that you can think about. And I hope even as you get into that new year, that you may always remember that Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says that, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and give you a future." So please do not give up. God's got you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Till the next time, see you in 2022. Take care of yourself, and don't forget to live, love, and laugh. Goodbye.